Hello and welcome to the start of the Desert Brutality 2020 coverage here on Bloke on the Range. Now, as usual, the main content's going to be over on In Range, featuring not only Carl and Ian, but also Muggins here. But we've got some Bloke on the Range exclusive coverage as well. Like we did for Finished Brutality 2019, we're going to do a walkthrough, talk-through of my 6 stages. Also did a couple of interview videos, one with Carl about the philosophy and history of two-gun action challenge and the brutality matches, and also another one with a Swiss gentleman called Pascal, who lives in Basel and is a lieutenant in the Swiss Army, alongside his day job because it's a militia, and we're going to be putting those out when the time arises. Now, the current video is my stage 1. The others I'm probably going to group to avoid inundating you all with too many videos. Stage 1, however, due to a few interesting screw-ups and some interesting psychology, it deserves its own dedicated video because it's probably going to end up being fairly long. The others I'll see as I do them. I'm kind of planning on maybe doing 2 and 3 together and then 4, 5 and 6, but we'll see how that actually turns out. At the end of this one, what I'm also going to put is Iain Harrison's run. He gave me permission to film and publish his excellent run. He came 10th, and he did a really good run, so we shall get to that after my disaster. So over to the footage now, and aside from the little jam we had there, I'll talk about all that at the end, but I'll explain the course as far as I'm going through it.
I'll go.
Chamber around.
You good? Yeah. Okay. Shooter ready?
So the first thing we do is run to that hedgehog there, and there are 4 targets, 2 rounds on each. You can rest using the hedgehog. I didn't, and I'll explain that later.
Change mags. On battery.
Hit!
So then you brass up these 2 targets. It's 1 alpha or 2 other scoring hits. And then you shoot the same pattern on the 4 steel on the range floor from this position between the stakes. Brass up the other 2. You could do that on the run. Unload the rifle, show clear. Into the trench over on the left, take the pistol, 2 hits on the nearest steel. Then you advance to the next hole and rinse and repeat. And again. And you weren't allowed to climb over, you had to go out the back. Then into the last hole, there's a spinner. It was set really heavy. Almost no one got it over. I was never going to get that over, so I ended up 19th equal with everybody else who didn't get it over. So, over to the headcam footage now, and unfortunately it ended up set a little bit high. Sorry. One of these days I'll invest in a better camera that interfaces with my phone so I can see where it's pointed.
Ready. Nope. Oh, and it's jammed.
Surprise! Did it really?
Yeah. That'll go.
Chamber.
So I thought that was a one-off.
Okay.
I didn't
Ready?
junk the mag at that point. I should have done.
Stand by.
So advance up to the hedgehog. Now, this sort of standing unsupported shooting is kind of my comfort zone, and they're kind of big targets, so I thought, let's do that. First round hits, get the jam. Faff with the rifle. For some reason did a full unload of these springs. I don't know why, force of habit probably. Now I'm getting slightly flustered. Now, the thing is, I'm mentally committed at this point to shooting offhand. I should have just gone to the hedgehog once I was getting flustered and started missing. But once you're fixed on a course of action, you get sort of almost tunnel vision and sort of over focus. That's always fun. Reload, because I've expended far too much ammo. And cocked it again for no reason. Again, probably just over focused. This is then comfort zone shooting. One for one. Brass up the close paper. Some people did hang on to it and brass it up as they were running forward. So then I get the pistol out that awful Canadian 51 pattern holster. Now I didn't hear the RO shout hit, so I was hesitant there. Getting a bit loose on the trigger control. Then I started concentrating again, and I made better hits. Now, counting rounds in these situations is something I'm not good at. I can't do it. I really need to work on it. There we go. Move up, and I'm actually holding the pistol in my left hand to keep it pointing down range to avoid possibly breaking the 180. And actually, when I did the reload earlier, I pocketed the empty magazine. I just sort of put the empty into my pocket as I went for the live. So it went for the full one, which was in my pocket as well. It's easier to load them out of a pocket than from the pouch, which is on the wrong side because it's on the holster. So reloading with the spinner set like that and shooting like that, I'm never going to get it over. Even if I had ditched the dodgy mag or hadn't had the dodgy mag in the first place, I was never going to get it over. So there's no worries. And there we go. And what I just quite like to do is go back to some of the third-person footage and just sort of the screw-up sequence at the start I thought was quite interesting. The sort of, you can see again the sort of whys and wherefores of what I was doing to screw up.
Shooter ready? Stand by.
So I just presumed it was a misfire, and then it's not actually going into battery. So I dropped the mag, did a full unload.
Mags.
Then I was committed to that mag, because normally it's just sort of a one-off. I should have ditched it at that point. But clearly the mag is doing something to damage the rounds as they come out. I ended up with a round in the chamber, just got rid of it at a target. Went for the mag in my pocket. And then huge relief as the rifle starts running fine. As I said before, I really should have gone down to resting at this point, but I'm mentally committed, I'm over-focused. And there I cocked it unnecessarily. I'm just slightly flustered. And just out of force of habit, it's probably due to the British Army unload drill that I always want to fire the action off. And then when I pull the pistol out, you see that I pull it out sideways so that I don't sweep my other hand, because I need my left hand on the holster when I draw the pistol. Otherwise, the front sight drags the holster up with it. Doesn't come out cleanly. Getting a bit over exuberant there. And the last bit I want to show is how I came out of this position. You see me put the empty one in a pocket. And I hold the pistol in my left hand and I put my right hand back on it as I go out. And I think we've seen the spinner before. There's nothing else to say other than you might have noticed that I'm in a slightly aggressive stance, more than I should be. I've got my left foot forward. It really shouldn't be. It should only be sort of a couple of inches forward for a balanced modern stance. But you'll see at various places, I've got my shoulders and torso in the modern stance, but I've advanced my left foot as if the 1970s have called. I don't know why I was doing that. This is all stuff to build on in the future for sort of improving the mental game. And when you see these things that you do unthinkingly, you think, why was I doing that? What do I need to do in the future to not do that anymore? I mean, it didn't seem to have a massive impact. My pistol shooting was okay. It wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't terrible. And I think this is something I'm going to work on in the future. So there you go. That's stage one. I have no idea how long this video has been. Lots of thanks. First of all, to the organisation, Carl and Russell for organising it, Compass Training Centre for having awesome facilities. Thank you very much to the sponsors. Thank you so much to the patrons for funding me actually physically being there. It was an absolutely fantastic few days that I had over there. And I did it as a bit of an epic. I mean, I was at work on Monday morning. I drove up to Zurich, stayed in an airport hotel Monday night, flew out on Tuesday, did some touristing on Wednesday, met up with the Finns. That was great. I had a lot of fun with them. Thursday, Friday shooting, Saturday some more filming, socialising at the range, and getting the night flight back out. And I end up back home on Sunday evening, about 9:30 p.m, and I'm at work 9 a.m. on Monday. So it was real epic, and it's actually kind of cool to see that I could actually manage to do something like that and survive it, which sort of opens possibilities for other projects in the US if I just nip over for a long weekend. So brilliant. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned on In Range and on Bloke on the Range for more content on Desert Brutality, and see you there. Bye.
Shooter ready. Stand by. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Clear.
Motherfucker.
Hey!
Yeah!
Good job. Slide forward. Hammer down, holster. Good job. Oh, you're one of, I think, 3 today to get it over.
I say, old bean, that was a jolly good show.
Well, thank you, sir.
Bloody well done.
All for a spot of tiffin.
Yes, definitely.